All right, folks, Ryder here with my mentor Peter, and we're going to do some hive inspections real quick here. So I'll just set the camera down right there, put the phone back over here so I split the difference between the Wi-Fi and the camera, and hopefully we learn some stuff today. And so I'm probably going to be making some changes to this after watching what you did with him. Am I smoking still?
No.
Isn't that great? Someone felt like calling me right in the middle of a stream. Yeah, it didn't seem to want to keep going this time. Probably because I left it alone for too long. Do you want to get on the side, or is that where I'm going to go?
You tell me what you want.
Well, I just want feedback, really.
Then I'm fine right here.
Okay. So we'll just go with one. Let that get going. Put on my Halloween costume. And I did not grab my hive tool. It's in the house. You have yours easily available? Thank you, sir. Oh,
Yeah, you shouldn't. I mean, basic etiquette is don't use. No.
I was just going to take
you get yours. That's the best thing. That's not.
That's not going to help?
Not going to help. Yeah,
okay, so I should go get my hive tool.
Yeah, keep from passing disease. You don't want to pass disease. That's all.
Unfortunately, my hive tool is in Oakland.
Ah, okay. Well then,
because I was
here you
using
go.
it as a molding lifter. So I got this steel wool, and I'll clean it up real good.
No, that's okay. I'm not worried about you using my hive tool. I think it's clean.
Okay.
But I'll clean it before I take it back, just to be sure. You know, I'm not taking something from you into my hive.
And I am treating this one. So what I've done with this hive so far is I put on a second brood box so that I can do a split. And at the same time, I have treated with Formic Pro for the Varroa mite infestation that I noticed. And it's not a severe one, but it's enough that I wanted to treat.
And this time of year is really the best treatment you can put in your hive is Formic Pro, because it doesn't just kill the mites. It also helps with anything like tracheal mites or any of those things that might get in. It kills a lot of different things. It can also be used to suppress the queen laying for a while to avoid swarming.
Okay.
So that's it's a really pretty.
What about any of the brood diseases like foul brood or?
No, that it doesn't take care of those things, but they're all vectored by the mites, right?
Right.
So if you have mites, then you're likely to have issues with other diseases.
So this is the honey supply that I've left them with. Okay. And from what I'm seeing on the other hives, you're saying that could actually be harvested.
Yeah, you can already. It depends on how much honey you have and nectar they're bringing in. So we have to look at that.
So I'm going to go ahead and take this off with the Formic Pro and just set it on top of that and take a look and see what they've done so far with this box. Now when I put this box in, all it had was a little bit of honey and a little bit of pollen.
Okay.
So I was basically giving them some supplies, but I don't know if they've started to build anything in here. So I'll start with the second frame in so I don't break anything.
Not very many bees.
Okay, not a lot of bees there.
We just set it.
Right there. You can see that was one of the frames that had pollen in it.
Sure, sure.
So I'll go ahead and show you that there, folks, if the camera's still working. Never know with this Wi-Fi. And that's just a blank frame. Not a lot of bees on that yet. Okay, it looks like there's some bees on this one, and it looks like they're drawing out comb. Again, this was another frame that had some pollen in it. This was a blank frame that the bees made their own in. I might have had...
Not since you started. It would all be white.
Right.
If it was built this year, so that's all dark.
So they're just eating the pollen and honey out of it.
That's right. And the nectar is dripping out, which means it's not ready to harvest. That's got a lot of pollen. That's
yep,
good.
that's what I gave them. I gave them a couple frames of pollen. That's just another blank frame. Just start sliding over. Now this looks a little white.
Yeah.
No, that's just...
Same from last year. They're not up here yet.
Okay, so they're not up in this. Should this box be in here, I guess, is the next question.
Well, yeah, we'll have to look down
We're
to the
going to
lower
look at the
one.
bottom. Okay, so that's it. So
they really
haven't done
they-
anything with this box yet.
They have not moved up into this at all. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and put that. So when I'm putting a hive back together like this, I tend to put the drawn comb in the middle.
Right.
And so take like,
Those
there you
two.
go. Take these out and move this over. Take this out. Might put this, then move that over. So show the people what that is.
Okay.
So that's drawn comb.
So-
And we're going to move that into the middle. Because the bees like to have all their drawn comb together, and that's going to give them the most impetus to start the queen to come up and start laying if those
So let's
combs are
slide
kept
those
together.
two over, and we'll put this drawn comb as well. And this is older comb. It may be as much as 8 years old.
Yeah, at some point you'd change it out. They collect different things in the wax, and it's a good idea. After 5 years, you know, and some people date their frames. They actually
Yeah, I've seen that.
put dates on their frames, and then
Okay.
you can just change the plastic out. You don't have to change the whole
I
frame.
think I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to take this box that we know they're not really doing anything in right now.
You can hit the bees, so we're going to give them a little smoke. Oh yeah, you only have, see on the top, we talked about this, on the top, you want to show?
Okay. So on the top of this,
You only have, you have basically 1, 2, 3, 4 frames showing bees.
okay,
So let's look at the bottom
okay.
and see.
I'll set the camera down, pointing the wrong way.
And I'll tip it up. You film.
Okay, so we're going to look at the bottom of this. And on the bottom we have 3 frames with bees on them.
So you probably have really just 3 frames of bees. I mean,
Okay.
we'll look at just to see if there's anything on there. No, there's not. No dead bees.
Okay.
So that's good. I mean, we're doing all right. But you have,
And these were pulled out recently.
yeah,
So.
you have 3 frames of bees. This is not ready to expand in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. Okay.
So, but that's okay. I mean, that's the way you learn. You want to have 8 frames of bees before you put
Another box on.
another box on top.
Yeah, I'll just let you hold the tool and I'll hold the camera. I'll
Yeah,
be
there you go.
cameraman today.
There you go. That's good.
Now these are really malformed as well.
That's the wax is, but
Yeah.
not the bees. Yeah.
Now there was tons of brood in here, and there was drone. And that's one of the reasons why I went ahead and added the other box. I didn't do the counting process because I didn't remember that part of it.
Yeah, and it's just, you want a certain strength before you start expanding your hive. Otherwise, you just cool down brood, and the queen's not going to move until she's got enough going on. So there's no brood in here.
You can see that there
That's
is...
hatching out, but there's no...
No, but those aren't those drones.
Yes, those are drones.
Yeah.
So we get a little puff, looking
So-
for eggs, looking for larvae.
So the Formic
And-
Pro may have slowed her down.
I'd
the
say
egg
it
laying.
stopped her.
It stopped her completely.
Yeah. So she has not been laying on this frame at all.
Okay.
And let's see what happens here.
But it was the right thing to do to treat at this time of year.
Yeah, that's fine. And what you should see, you should look for the queen. Is she marked? Do you remember?
This one is not marked.
Okay.
And there is a
queen cell.
A queen.
So, yeah, you've got, and they're making a new queen. No, there's. So what I do in this situation, they'll repair it if I mess it up here. But I'm going to just go ahead and peel this back just enough to see. And there's no egg, and there's no.
Right. Well, we haven't
royal
seen
jelly
any brood either. So.
No, that's right. But that's. I think that's. Well, we may. So what I do when now I've destroyed these. The next time I go in, if I happen to see cells like that, then I know that they're new. I always try to destroy queen cups just to.
Okay.
Just
to get a
sure.
feed on what's going on with them.
Yeah.
Now this was the second swarm capture last year, and this was actually doing quite well before I treated it.
So
see, there's
pollen,
a little bit of brood left,
but not laying any fresh, and all those brood cells that were there, they've been packing it full of honey. That means that the queen is not. There's something wrong, because they shouldn't be packing their brood chamber with honey.
Is it possible that the treatment of Formic Pro caused her to swarm away and I didn't?
Don't swarm. It's normally they quit feeding her.
Okay.
And so they will starve her, and then she will just basically die.
Okay.
That can happen. It's usually not something that happens this time of year, and certainly not with one pad. So I would assume that she's here somewhere, and just when you pull that pad off, she will start laying again.
Okay.
But that's going to be one of the things we'll do this time. We'll pull that pad and look.
It's only been in there for 5 days.
Oh, there she is.
It's her.
Yeah, you're going to need to requeen Charlie on that. But we found her almost the size as a regular.
Want to that's the same I saw.
Yeah.
Week
queen, and you see how she's like a snowplow.
Yeah.
That's the way to tell. Kind of look for that. Other bees are just annotating. Bees move like a freight train.
Yeah.
Oh, she's there. That's the time. Okay. Pull the fan. We like to see this. And one of the things that happens when a queen rebounds from Formic Pro is it's like magic. All of a sudden, this whole thing will be full of brood.
Okay.
So
we're going to go ahead and pull
like
that
a
right now.
backlash. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and pull it.
Okay, I'm going to set the camera down and put this. So, should we take any of the pollen out of here and replace it with like this white frame?
Yeah, if you've got good frames, that's and what we'll do is we'll move it in closer to where the brood chamber.
Well, I've got these two drawn out ones. So let's take these two blanks off of here.
Yeah, let's put it in. If it's good, we're going to take empty frames.
That one's got honey on it right there, this one.
I know, I'm just going to show. Where is the camera? Right there?
It's right there.
This one, we're moving this one, which is just basically empty to the outside. And then this one, which has got a little bit of honey, but basically empty, we'll move it next. And then put if that's got pollen.
That one's just drawn out. There was one that had pollen.
So we'll put this one next. We're going to put the pollen in that one that had the funky.
This one has a bunch of pollen in it.
Yeah.
Pollen and a little bit of honey.
So we'll put that
one
in
there.
towards the middle. Okay, and that's pretty good. I don't know that we really need to do.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not much more.
I don't think these other ones. There is another blank on the end, so
That's
we could
fine.
put a drawn out one there, or leave it.
Oh, if you have drawn comb.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
if
have
you do.
I have this drawn comb
Oh, yeah.
here, and pollen in this drawn comb as well.
Okay, good. Well, then let's.
So I'm going to show that to the camera. There is some pollen in this one, and it's got some drawn comb. So I'm going to put that in the next spot in.
Nope. In this case, we're going to put it in even further. Well, yeah,
no,
that's
because these
fine.
are malformed.
Yeah, we're going to just have to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd like to replace those malformed ones later on, but right now, those are where the most activity is.
So even with that, and you have pollen in here, you don't need to feed because we've already got a good flow going on. You do see bees bringing in quite a bit of pollen, but given what I see here, I would put a pad of food on here.
Okay, a pad of food.
Do you have any?
I do not.
Pollen patties?
No, but I'm willing to buy some.
Yeah, and they come in like 4 by 12 inch pads, I cut a small section, like a 2-inch square or a 3-inch square off of that,
Okay.
because if you put the whole thing in, you end up attracting a lot of beetles and moths and things with lay eggs in it. Just cut a little chunk and set it in there. Check it the next week, and if it's gone or it's been eaten, leave it. If it hasn't been touched, just pull it out.
So, should I put the super of honey back on here for food?
No.
Okay,
no.
so I should harvest that honey, and right now until they draw out, until I'm seeing
until
8.
you're seeing from here to here with bees and larvae and everything. Yeah, you don't want to.
Okay. And stop with the formic probe.
Right. Stop
Okay.
the phone.
So then we're done for
Yeah.
this today. So then I can put the rest of this stuff away. And shall we go look at the other hive? Okay. If you have time, I just want you to. Okay. So in order to continue doing this, I'm going to set this down for a minute. I'm going to bring the phone about halfway from the Wi-Fi to the hive and set it right here in the shade. Do a quick check. See if it's still working. And yeah, we're still up and running. So I'm going to take this, and we're not going to get as close with the camera as we normally try to. But I'm going to still up. Oh, why burned out. Grab this hive ate some earlier, and my on the
time.
just on lane there.
Left bar in the and I did last year.
It's a deal.
Follow the label.
Oh, a little bit in the front there. There's really
Worried about what from
the distance it is. Let's go ahead and continue.
So
with
again, here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames of bees in here.
Okay.
Probably the same thing on the bottom. You're going to see, if you look at the bottom, you're going to see 4 frames maybe that have bees. So,
Okay.
but again, not 8.
Okay.
So my tendency is to say, just like we did with the other one,
Just cap this off and
put
let
it
it work.
and wait till you've got bees from here to here, and then put your next box on.
Okay.
That's a pretty good rule of thumb, and it will actually, by doing that, you help support the hive and its growth.
Okay.
They're not going to swarm until they get to that point. Anyway.
Got it.
So
So this had a ton of brood in it and just beautiful patterns. Spiral patterns on some and just completely full patterns on others. So you're saying that 1 full frame of brood should equal 3 frames?
if you have a full frame of brood, like if you looked at that one,
Right.
in the next 2 weeks, you're going to have 3 frames of bees.
Okay.
If you can kind of add it up, if you're doing a full inspection and say I've got a quarter here, a quarter here, a quarter here, and this one's full,
Right.
then you got 1 and 3/4.
So what I saw last week was about 1. If you combine all the ones that I saw, I had at least 1.
So if you have 1 3/4 of brood, by the time you go in a week or 2 weeks, you're going to have
Then it would be time to add
3,
another.
4, 5, about 5 frames of bees, something like that.
So wait 1 more week and then add this box.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that would be 4 plus 5 more. You're already impacted. So it's this time of year. It's going fast. But if you can wait a week and wait for those bees to hatch out, but then put that on, that queen will love it. She'll move up
Okay.
into the drawn comb, and she will start laying like mad up there too.
Okay. So would it be prudent right now to inspect this box and make sure she's not in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if she was in there, she would in all likelihood start drawing bees out of here to go there.
Okay.
But
But I am seeing a lot of activity here, so.
well, that's because we're blocking the entrance.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So just a quick inspection to make sure there's no brood pattern in here, then we know she's not in here.
Or just check this. See if she's there.
Okay.
Yeah, there may be some brood in here. There's a little honey, a few bees,
And
no
this
queen.
is not going to be all that well balanced on
Yeah,
here.
I
It's
see
not the
that
greatest
here.
spot.
You're
Sorry
right.
about that.
No, that's okay.
So
I
this
think-
is all new.
Wow, this is
This is all new honey too. This was a blank frame last week. This is 1 week Can that really be happening in 1 week?
Yeah, it can.
That's amazing. That much nectar flow in February.
Yeah, we got early bloom.
Okay, so yeah, there's like 1.5 frames of
all honey. If she
of
was
all
going to
honey.
lay on this, they would have cleared out a section of it. And so she's not likely to be on here.
No, and we would spot her in a heartbeat because she has a nice big white dot on her.
Yeah, we're going to just shake these
Thanks,
back in here.
I appreciate that. So then I'll just go ahead and harvest this honey as well. The rest of this I know isn't going to have anything on it.
That one at the end.
There are
I'm too
bees
sure.
on that one.
Yeah.
Well, that one probably was the most drawn out, or that might have been honey that I gave them.
Let's see what's going on here. Sometimes some interesting things happen.
Yeah, so that's just a
Just
garbage
a
frame.
Yeah, but I'll draw it out. Okay.
The only thing I don't like about those is that it gets malformed when they draw.
It's time to
Yeah.
to change this.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's a frame I got from you about 7 years
yeah,
ago.
that could very well be. Kind of looks.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my work.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
so one more week, then I can add this, and that also gives me time to get some new frames. Some new frames and some
then,
pads for feeding that hive over there.
For people who want to know when you can take honey, one of the tricks is you see nectar in here, but if I take it and just tap it on the side, you see all that splash
it's
out?
all, yeah.
See it's all in here?
Yeah.
That means that it's fresh nectar and it hasn't been dehydrated.
Look at it just dripping. There's just a sea
Yes.
of, I hope the camera caught that, because there was just a sea of dripping nectar, and it hasn't been processed properly yet by the bees.
Yeah, they've got to dehydrate it to get it to the right honey consistency.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, so I'll harvest that 1.5 frames of honey out of this one and do the same for that other super over there. Get the pads to feed that hive over there, and look at this one to add this box next week.
Yeah, so here we're going to close this one up.
Yep, no need for the queen excluder.
Right. No need for that.
I'm just going to set that on top of here.
On here.
Okay, so we've reversed what my inexperienced self did last week, because this is something new I've learned or been reminded of, that we want to have 8 full frames of bees before we add another super to the hive.
And if you, there's some flexibility in that. If you go into your hive and you see 7 frames of bees or 6 frames of bees, but the thing is just packed with capped brood, that's where that formula comes in.
Right.
So if you know that within a week or 2 weeks you're going to have 10 or 12 frames of bees, you don't need to wait until you have 8. You just go ahead and put it on there, because you know that within 2 weeks you're going to be full of bees.
All right.
So this time of year, it's pretty easy to tell.
Well, thanks again, Peter, for your time, and time to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I really appreciate what I've been taught or relearned today.
Give a plug for the MDBA.
Yeah. So you go ahead. You do it, Peter. They're watching you right now.
The Mt.Diablo Beekeepers Association does this all the time for people, so it's really good organization to join, and you can get there by going to diablobees.org. It's $20 per year, so it doesn't cost much. There's a lot of mentors and a lot of information there. So.
And another great thing that they do for non-beekeepers is, if you have a swarm in your yard, you can contact them and they will send out a beekeeper to come help you with your swarm.
Yep.
Thanks a lot for checking out this video, and hopefully some people have learned some stuff from this. It will be up on YouTube after I finish with the Twitch stream. And for now, give you a little view of the wreckage of our inspection, and I will say thanks for checking us out. Ryder out. Okay, and that might not be on there, damn it, because it when the camera gets hot and I'm way out there, it blanks it out. I can certainly put that in the comments. Thanks for helping me. Appreciate it. Sorry I'm such a spaz. I'm excited. clean it, or you? Shush. Shush.